Hello, I'm Jerry Lintner, and this is State of the Town, a monthly show when we sit with our first selectman, Lisa Heavner, and get brought up to date on the state of the town. Well, I have a request, Queen of Simsbury, and that is, we're almost at the middle of July. Can't you slow it down? I mean, this summer is speeding by.
Oh, I know, it really is.
And I know, you are good at taking control of things, so I'm thinking, can't you do something?
No.
No!
But you're right, there's a lot going on in town this summer.
Well, there is, and some of it is like kind of a surprise and kind of mysterious. So before we get to the fun part of what's going on, what's with the mobile station? Just one day it was there, and the next day it was shrouded in boards, and the gas pumps were covered.
So I did have an opportunity to speak with the Director of Planning, which is Jamie Rabbit, and I asked him for an update on that.
Jamie Rabbit? Mm-hmm. It's not Peter.
No, it's Jamie.
Okay.
And I asked him what was going on there, and he said that the owner and the person who was renting for them are no longer
a couple
working together, and so what they're in the process of doing is removing the tanks and testing the soil, which is typical in a transition, whether they go to a new gas station or whether they go to some other development. And so they anticipate that the tank will be up and complete by Friday.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a politician, because this is probably not a political thing to say.
Uh-oh.
But, like, when I was involved with Main Street, then Marvin, whose father-in-law had the franchise or whatever they have for mobile stations. So Marvin, good guy, great family, couple daughters, cute as buttons, wife very nice, and it was always a busy place.
Yeah.
But then, somewhere down the line, Marvin one day pulled me aside and said, Jerry, I really appreciate your loyalty. My loyalty? What for? And then I started looking at prices other places. Whoa, what happened? So now you see none, but there was increasingly less traffic at the mobile station. The prices were out of line. Now, I don't know why that's so. Maybe their gas is better. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
I can't
don't know.
speak to that. I don't know, Jerry.
No, life is full of puzzles.
It is.
Unresolvable puzzles. Okay, well, something that I have found very exciting, because again, going back to when I was involved in Main Street, always the charrettes, when we would look at the center, one of the pieces of property that seemed very desirable was Simscroft Echo Farms, the Gerard brothers' property, where they recycle gravel and dirt and soil and all that.
Right, down by the bike path, for
Down
those who
by
don't
the
know
bike
it.
path.
Right, off Iron Horse, yeah.
Off Iron Horse, yeah. And wouldn't that be great? And we were kind of thinking of, modest, affordable to modest housing. Then, when I got mixed up in the time and came in and thought I saw something I shouldn't see, was this elaborate, I didn't open it, I just saw the cover and the title on it. It was anywhere from 135 to 156 residential units, some apartments, some freestanding, and some pictures that were like very period reflective. Oh, wow. That would be so great. So, and then you said that was presented last night.
It was. So we can.
Yeah.
So this is through Mike Gerard. He's been working with our
Wait a
planner.
minute. This might be a scoop. If this show hits before last night's taping of the First Selectman, then State of the Town is a scoop.
So Mike Gerard did present last night, which would have been Monday, July 11th, to the Design Review and to Zoning Board, preliminary plans or concepts for that area. And you're right, it does include some multi-residential areas down in that area, consistent with what the charrette recommended. They were trying to pay attention to what the charrette recommended, and I think it was fairly well received by the boards, but we'll find out. There's still a long way to go, but we're very appreciative to Mike Gerard for the efforts he put into this. He's really put in a lot of effort there.
And would they then like somebody else would develop it, and they would sell the property, or the property they would develop, or don't we know that? This is just an initial.
It's just an initial. I don't know, whether they develop it or they would send it.
Excuse me, we're having a little audio problem here. Our guest a little later in the show is beeping or peeping.
It's our
no, my
camera
God,
person.
it's the president
It's
of SCTV is beeping. Oh, my apologies, guest. Okay, so here we go. She stopped beeping. Oh, can I tell a cute story, though?
Maybe.
Cute. Well, talking about beeping, we were in the Midwest for 2 days my wife and I, over the July 4th holiday. And then we got back, and she was out in the yard the next day, and she said, the cutest thing happened. She said there was this bird making these little feed me, mommy noises. And it was like, we think now it's a sapsucker, but like a woodpecker. The sapsuckers are woodpeckers. So she thought, well, what could I feed it? So she got some almond butter, put it in the lid of something, and went and sat it out. And the bird went to that and ate it.
Wow.
Now later in the day, she and I are harvesting raspberries. But as we'd walked around the yard, the bird would follow us and sit on a tree, or then follow and sit on another tree. So I'm back in the raspberries, and there's this tree right beside me, and there is this bird going beep, 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 sounded just like Althea's phone. And so I thought, oh my goodness, and I looked, and it looked right at me, and I thought, well, maybe it's hungry. And it flew on my shoulder, and it started nibbling my ear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so I said, I didn't know what it wanted then, So then I said to Jen, maybe we should get it some almond butter again. And we were picking raspberries. Well, before she got back, it sort of kind of swooped down, and picked a raspberry on its way. But now it was on the ground under the raspberries. So when she came back, she gave me the almond butter on a cover, and then a raspberry we put in it. So I went looking for it, and immediately it flew up to my shoulder again. So then I put it on my shoulder, and it ate the raspberry, and it ate peanut butter, and now, so that's been about a week now, other than yesterday, every day, because we do a garden tour every day, it follows us around and asks to be fed. So I don't know if I'm enabling a bird where the parents said, you're too old, get out of here, you got to do it on your own, and I don't know. But it makes you feel very good. Oh, and then it sat on my head, but I had like a do-rag on because having no hair in the sun and sweating, and so it sat right on top of my head as I went around.
And you have no pictures of this, Jim?
I do.
You do?
You want pictures?
Yes, I want to see the pictures.
I will email you the pictures.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that development, we've talked about that some, but that was the preliminary, the first.
So the
we don't
discussions
know.
are beginning, and the designs will be posted online in the next few days. And so you'll get a chance, and if you haven't had a chance to watch some of the zoning hearings, it might be interesting to see the presentation.
Had they been to zoning already?
They went preliminary. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I don't
they
know how
they
I
went.
missed that.
So it was last night. So they went to zoning
Oh,
and
it was
design
zoning
review.
last
Yes.
night. Oh, I thought
They don't come to the Board of Selectmen.
Oh.
So
Well, talking about what did come to the Board of Selectmen, a couple issues. One of them was the Betty Hudson property, just an update on that. So you want to review that?
Sure. So where we are is Jeff Shea brought to us the design concepts for the Betty Hudson property, which have been vetted through many organizations and commissions, including Open Space and the Board of Selectmen. And the Flower Bridge folks were really instrumental in helping with that. And so it came before the Board of Selectmen to get final approval to go to design and then construction and permitting. So we're excited to see that project take off.
That is exciting. It's very exciting. Well, we lost a basket at the bridge the other day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, this was not vandalism this time. With the rain, the baskets have gotten so heavy, and that to pull them up after you've let them down for deadheading is kind of difficult. I was the culprit.
Oh, dear.
Because I started pulling it, and it was raining, so it was slippery, and it didn't get all the way up. So I let it down, and this time I really jerked it, so it'd get all the way up. Well, then when it hit the top, then it bounced, and all of the hooks, which we had had concerns about, their new ones this year, opened up and it went in the bridge. So that is now replaced, and we're replacing the hooks on the others. When we went there to do the replacement, one of the other volunteers was there and had come over and kind of laughed and said, "See that guy?" And he had a tripod and a big, fancy camera. And he said he had been there for 25 minutes, and it needed to be an overcast day to get just the shot that he wanted. But never, he wanted one with nobody on the bridge. He said, constantly there was always somebody on the bridge, and that's so gratifying to see. It really
is, and that's one of the reasons the board supported this project, is because it is one of our gems.
Yep.
And we want to make sure we enhance it and support it, and so we're excited to start this project.
You were at Burgers on the Bridge.
I was.
And you didn't eat a burger. I didn't know if that was because I was cooking it.
I ate a burger.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Well, after seeing your desk, coming in for the show and seeing the sunflower seeds there, I thought maybe the way you say so slim and trim is you don't eat burgers.
No, and I was really happy because they had gluten-free buns, so I could actually have a whole burger, so it was really exciting for me.
Oh, you go gluten-free?
Yeah.
Huh. Is there, well, we don't need to talk about
Yeah.
why. Okay, why? No. Okay, well, let's see. We have things coming up. Like I said, we're almost halfway through July.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to do in the rest of July and in August. Do you want to review some of those?
Sure. So, of course, there's the Talcott Mountain Music Festival. I don't know
Yep.
if you had a chance to go to any of those concerts yet.
No, but we just live up the hill, so we hear a lot. I'm thinking Ray Charles maybe I'll go to.
All right. Well, they're a lot of fun.
I got a gal.
Well, the 4th of July had about 9,000 people there, so that was very nice.
That's great.
Had a little rain on the second one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't have information on the numbers, but we got another one coming up on this Friday and all through July. So we're excited about that.
And then the community band that used to play in
Yes.
Schultz Park, and then they were playing out at the rec center, and I guess they have one concert there, and then they're coming to the Performing Arts Center, right?
That's right. They had two. I didn't list the second one because it's already happened, but there was one at Simsbury Farms. There's another one at Simsbury Farms, and then they go to the Performing Arts Center for free concerts, and those are on I think Wednesday nights in July.
Okay.
So those are a lot of fun. I don't know if you've been, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of having been, there is so much to do in this town. So something came as a surprise to me.
Oh.
We, like I mentioned, the first 2 days of the 4th holiday, we were in the Midwest. So we came back and we thought, it's such a great place. Why go someplace on the 4th? So we usually want to go out to eat, which is not seldom. Typically patronize the restaurants up and down
Right.
Hop Meadow and a couple blocks around. The first 5 we went to were closed.
On the 4th of July?
Yeah, so
Oh.
then we went to Plan B, and they had a couple people call in not feeling well.
It happens.
Yeah, and so the guy said, we just walked into chaos. But also, you'll notice on the weekend in the summer in Simsbury, there's like almost no traffic on Hot Meadow. And I think, we sometimes go to the beach and that, but otherwise, this is such a great place to be when you're not at work. Why does everybody leave for the weekend? And apparently the other restaurant owners knew that because they said nobody's going to be here. So why be open and have no business? So Plan B got all the business. So don't you find that peculiar?
Yes and no. People, if you were here on the 4th of July concert, you would say everybody was in Simsbury. There were 9,000 people here. So sometimes,
Well, maybe they cook out a lot too,
Yeah.
and so like that. Okay, well,
I have more.
you do before your guest comes? You better go really
All right,
fast.
I'll go really fast. So the library is
Oh,
offering.
but don't talk too fast, because some of us are
Right.
slow of hearing.
So the library is offering movie nights for families at 6:30 on Wednesdays, and so there's a great free movies at the library.
So what, do we know what movies
We
they have?
do. On July 13th, coming up is The Jungle Book. On the 27th is Eight Below. On August 3rd, The Sandlot, and on August 10th, Monsters University.
Oh, so these are all adult movies.
No, they're kid movies, right. And we have the announced dates of Septemberfest, which are going to be September 9, 10, 11, and the fly-in is September 18th. So lots of good stuff
That's
coming down the
a
road.
witches convention, right? Or a Harry Potter thing? The fly-in?
No, it's airplanes and vintage cars over at the
I've been
Simsbury
there.
Airport.
It's really
yeah.
pretty phenomenal.
We just had, a car show in Simsbury this past
I do
weekend.
know that. Yeah, see,
So-
it's the place to be.
And so many of these things, Jerry, which is remarkable, are done by volunteers
Yep.
who just give
That's
of their
our
time.
town.
Yeah,
That's
it
our
really
town.
is.
Okay, well, there are a couple other heavy-duty things I wanted to touch, but one of them being, I understand that the Charter Review Commission's report was not voted on by the Board of Selectmen. You have since met with them,
Yes.
asking for clarification on their vote about town manager and maybe even the Economic Development Commission parts?
Yeah, so we asked for a little more information on their, in terms of what they were thinking and what aspects they had
Oh,
investigated.
let me say this. What were you thinking?
No, it wasn't like that at all.
No, that's me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me.
They actually put in a lot of work, so I do want to thank the members of the commission who really put in a lot of thoughtful analysis and research. But there were some additional questions about the town manager position, how you would compensate the first selectman under that system without creating a conflict of interest that would prevent the first selectman from voting on compensation for the town manager if the two are tied together. There was questions about whether the charter revision recommended taking the Economic Development Commission out of the charter. That doesn't mean making it go away. It would just become an ordinance committee or appointed every 2 years by the Board of Selectmen. So they made that recommendation. They recommended separating culture from culture, parks, and rec and keeping culture as part of the charter because culture, parks, and rec is part of the charter right now, so they would just split it. That was one of their recommendations. So.
Okay. So now it may come back revised, and then you'll decide if you're going to vote on it, yes or no. And if you end up voting yes, it goes to referendum.
That's right.
So then we get a chance to say what we think.
That's exactly right. And
Okay.
that would be in November, in the November referendum.
Well, giving somebody a chance to say what they think, I noticed your guest is chomping at the bit and very, very eager to get in front of the
And we're
camera.
so excited to have her.
We are excited to have her, so why don't you invite her in?
Allie, you want to come on in and join us? This is Allie Rice, who is our summer intern this summer and been doing a great job for us.
Like how? What's so good about the job she does?
You know what? We gave her some crazy research assignments. It was required her to go into the archives and the vault and town hall and do a lot of research for us, and she's been doing a great job. She's been helping out Eric Gomes on inventorying, I don't even know what. What are you inventorying?
Auditing insurance plans for the town employees, making sure.
Oh my God, that sounds fascinating, Allie.
I actually enjoyed it.
Well, I don't doubt it because, coincidentally, you're just finished your third year at UConn, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going back as a senior, and your major is?
Political science.
Aha. And what is your goal after school?
I'm hoping to work either in state or local government or at a nonprofit, and then go to law school in a few years and become a prosecutor.
Become a what?
Prosecutor.
Oh, I don't hear clearly. You really had me scared for a minute. I really misunderstood. I thought, whoa, did we get a winner here? She's got me off my guard. Oh, okay. So that is kind of cool. Now, as a lawyer, like, say, in Connecticut, or what kind of law would you want to practice? Or?
State law. I'm looking to move down south. I'm interested in more of the warmer weather,
We'll lose you?
but not for a few years.
Okay. Like how far down south?
No, more south than North Carolina. That's my
hurricanes,
limit.
hurricanes,
Yep.
hurricanes.
Yeah.
Besides, with the climate warming, just stick around here. Pretty soon,
I know, it
we're
won't.
not gonna have a winter anymore. So, working in the town offices. Don't listen, Lisa. How about the straight skinny? Who are the real witches and the backbiters and the stabbers?
We have none.
There are none.
Well, I can see why you're in political science. Well, tell us a little bit about your experience interning here. First of all, how did it come about? Why did you want to do it? and what have you learned so far? And stop looking at the Queen of Simsbury
Oh,
thinking
stop.
she's going to wrap your knuckles.
I am not. Allie does a
I
great
saw
job.
your look. You kept going. And she kept looking at you like that, okay, so go ahead.
So I actually.
Stop looking at her. I'll make you go away.
I'm allowed to listen to her.
Okay.
So I actually just thought it would be cool to, if there was an internship in the town hall, and then I found the position on the job opportunities page on the town website. So I applied to there, and
Do we pay you?
yes, you do.
Good, congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of these internships, and towns are terrible, just take advantage
Yeah.
of young people and suck out all their energy and pay them no money.
Simsbury doesn't do that.
No.
So.
But you had to go through an interview process.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so how many interviewees were there? Hundreds?
No.
No.
You
okay.
could say how many, you didn't have
I don't.
people interviewing you.
No, I mean, how many other people were being
applications.
interviewed?
There were a number. There were
Yeah.
a number. It was
So you can-
competitive. It was
yeah,
competitive.
you can put that like in your resume. Now you beat out 150 other contenders for the job.
Something like that.
Okay. So what about that process? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was excited. I wasn't really nervous, actually.
Yeah.
So I've had
Because
other.
you know you're very capable.
Yes.
Yes,
And
look at like that.
I've had other internships, so I have experience in the interview process. so.
What other kind of internship?
I actually interned twice for John Hampton at the state capitol.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know. You're building a political base here. You may not want to move down south, You may want to stay up here. And then you could either be the first selectman of Simsbury or town manager, one or the other. So some of the things you've been handed to do, I mean, the terribly exciting one about looking at insurance policies. But then beyond that, what was this one? Something about researching something, or was that it?
So within the town, there's certain funds, like the dog park fund, the Ellsworth fund, that are given to the town or that the town approves of, and I'm tasked
Wait,
with...
I don't understand that. Scoot over a little more closely. I want to get this on the record. So these are entities that have money and they have it administered by the town?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a bank will be in charge of it, and the gift was given to the town, but a bank is in charge of distributing the money to the town. But I'm tasked with finding these various funds and when they were established so that Lisa and Sean Kimball can figure out what to do with the funds and where to distribute the money on various projects.
Yeah, it's exciting. So the Ellsworth Fund is one of the first ones she researched, and that was a donation from the town that requires $3,000 be kept in the fund. But the money can be used over time to beautify Hot Meadow or for the Planning Commission.
Oh.
So, we didn't know
I see.
the origins of that because you had to go back into the 1940s, right?
Yep.
Well, and that is, to me, that's interesting because 18 years ago now, when we started the Flower Bridge, there were a number of organizations, nonprofits, that somehow the accounting was done by the town. So like Becky at Parks and Recreation, she did an incredible job for us. Then, one year it was decided, there were like 15 of them, that was actually in violation of the charter. So whatever differentiated us, like from the beautification committee, that we should be separated from all that, which has been just fine. But if you want to do a little extra credit stuff, overtime and get a bonus, you might want to research that just so you could leave it. Oh, Allie, what's your last name?
Rice,
Rice, that's right. How do you spell it?
RICE, like the
R-I-C.
food.
Like the food, okay.
Yeah.
Report of Allie Rice, 2016. The absolution of the archaic system of having town organizations accounting done by the town and the repercussions. And then it would be in the record. So years now, there would be an intern who would stumble across this and say, wow, here, look, I found this. Somebody went back and solve that question.
Well, Ally has solved a number of them, and she's
Well, then
writing
give me some
memorandums.
examples.
Well, the Ellsworth, we weren't sure who was authorized to expend that, and she found out that it has to come to the Board of Selectmen before an expenditure is made. Some are authorized by, a different department head has authority to expend the money in consultation with the Director of Finance, but you always want to know what is the authorizing language. And it was just a neat way to go back and sort of see where the origins
So
of
it's
these
sort of
things
a
are.
cover your butt project.
No, it's an interesting.
no, I didn't-
Yeah, no, it's just really to just.
Not hers, yours, I mean, or
No.
the Board of Selectmen.
No, it's just really to understand the
Make
best.
sure it's done
yeah,
correctly.
Correct, that's exactly right.
She is so good with words.
I think those were your words.
Oh. Maybe you forced me to say that.
See, I've had an influence on you.
Yes, for better or for worse, you certainly have. Like, because you're so nice.
It's rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I'm trying to emulate that. It hasn't quite taken yet, but I'm getting a little closer. So this next year, now, do you have just like the easy stuff to finish up, all your electives and that, or you got some hard stuff to do?
I've got some hard stuff. I did all the easy stuff my first couple years, so now I just have the core classes in my major that I have to take.
Okay, so then you're going to take a year off before you go for the law degree, or
Yeah, a year or two, depending.
go to Europe and down the like
Oh,
Costa
I
del
wish.
Sol
I
and
wish.
the French Alps? And,
That would be nice, but
yeah, well, do it. I mean, you're making moolah money here as an intern. Just put that away, let it earn interest for another year, and off you go. Allie, you're such a good sport. I'm glad that you were chosen. I feel very confident now on how our money is being spent from the Ellsworth Fund. And Lisa, of course, you're so tolerant. Thank you very much. And I'm glad all of you tuned in, and we'll see you again next month on State of the Town.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.